Good evening, folk. Welcome back to another Chart Nerd TA video. We're going to be diving into FETCH today. So the ticker is FET against USDT. We're looking at the weekly time frame. Again, keeping a more zoomed out perspective, as you know, for me on this channel. And recently, what I wanted to point out, there's a lot of buzz going around on Twitter at the moment, and it just caught my attention. So I wanted to have a look at this project, and you can see the office lows from back in November. It's up around 198%, which is amazing. It's lovely to see, you know, some coins are still retaining their strength and managing to pull these legs back up within the market in such treacherous times. But I do think we still need to tread with caution. And again, this isn't a video screaming get involved, okay? But you can see that this project is making some moves in a time like this. So maybe it is one to keep an eye on for the near future. Now, what I wanted to point out here is that FETCH has got this level of resistance, which I think it's currently running into right now. That it's been, again, many projects have had a level of resistance since this bear market has started, and you can see that this is FETCH's right here, where every time you're coming to these lows and running back into to resistance, you're running into this trend line. Now you can see that this is the third point of contact for FETCH here, and I do believe that a potential decision will be made. But I am looking at potentially some downside in the short term. Now, the only reason being, again, is you've had this massive 200% move over the space of a couple of months. You're running into key resistance, and you're also running into another level of key resistance where you are right now. Okay, so where the price is struggling to close above on this weekly candle here, you can see that this was previous support back in the bull run. So you had this massive wave, you came back for support, and you put in the all-time high. So this support was looking to hold back here, but you've lost it. And right now what's happened is you've sort of coiled up, put in a low, and you've retraced right back up to that level of resistance that was previously support, and equally the level of resistance of this declining resistance. Again, you're meeting these resistance points right now, and it's amazing to see the project pick up like this from this lows. But I would step in with caution. And one other thing that we've got to look at here is the RSI. Okay, the stock RSI. Sorry, it's in the overbought areas, and at these areas you do tend to, you know, the last time you was up there was up here. Okay, and you rolled over, and this is where you put in the new low for FETCH back in 2022 November. But since then, again, you can see you've picked up massively. What I would be looking for here, if we was to get some sort of retracement, because you can see this was resistance before, it was turned into support, you lost the support, and here again you could potentially be turning it into resistance, just like you did here. But what happened here is you had the low of COVID, okay, you came up, you came back, and you put in a higher low and eventually broke out. So what we want to see is something like this structure, where you've got this low, you've come in right now, you want to fall back to support, put in a higher low, and potentially roll back to this level of previous resistance that FETCH was under. So let me zoom in here and have a look at this quickly for you guys. If there is a potential drawback, what I would be looking for is a potential pullback to this previous level of resistance that we've just melted through this week. So it would be healthy if we did see some sort of retracement from this high. We'll get a fib on from the high that we're at now, that we're being meeting resistance, to the low at around 0.052. You can see that, again, this sort of area ties up for a level of support for me, and that's a 050 at 0.0943. So if you do see FETCH, again, because you've melted out, if you do see us meet resistance and fall back to support, I would be looking for this 050 and this 0618 pocket, where you would potentially be putting in some higher low, looking for continuation. And if you do tackle out above this 16 cents that we're currently running into resistance, amazing, because then you'd have this low and a higher low, and then this would be your confirmation that you're looking to break out. Just like as I showed you back here, you had this low, you came up, you came back for a higher low, and you broke out. So right now you've got this high, come back for a low, which is a higher low, okay, and then look for your breakout, where you tackle out of this resistance that we was previously holding as support. So yeah, guys, that's basically what I'm looking for here. Again, you can see the project is picking up very, very nicely. If we was to get a bit more overextension here and pump a little bit further, because it's a large possibility. What you can see is the overextension target for me. So right now you're pushing through this 1272 because you've got this low, you're retreating to this high, okay, which was resistance before. This was resistance, you coiled up, crashed. Right now you're retracing back to that high. So you've broken out of this 11 cents, and you're also above the 1272. So you may, come back, slow down a little bit here and get a final push up to the 19 cent area before we actually start to see this correction for the higher low back down to the lower fib levels that I had on a second ago. So if we do get the overextension, I think we could be in for a little bit more of a push up here of around 25% or so. and that I think would be quite an impulsive move here for Fetch, and at that point I do think you'd meet resistance. But what I wanted to show you guys again is these EMAs here. So you've got this 20 which you've melted through, and you've ran up to the 55 on the weekly. Now this 55 hasn't been retested since March 2022, so again this could act as a key point of resistance moving forward, as it was once met as resistance before, where you had this large pump back in February where Fetch actually went up around 136%. At this point got rejected by the EMAs and had that large crash. So what we need to be cautious of here is potentially you've got this wave 1, this wave 2, a large wave 3, this is a wave 4, and then potentially a wave 5 back down to support, which would be here. I think this is where I'll be looking to find support. Again, we need to be cautious. This isn't a wave 4 into resistance, into EMAs, into yearly resistance that Fetch has been under. Okay, so you can see that this resistance point that we had at the start of the video ties up with this 55 on the weekly, and you've hit your head on this every time you've met it. So do tread with caution, and again, you don't want to buy big green candles, because they normally, you know, when they go up quite quick, they normally come down quite quick, looking for support, whether to get a higher low and then continue the trend for the breakout. So again, it's not financial advice. My overall perspective on Fetch right now is, again, to be cautious. This video is not about, you know, I'm not here to tell you jump straight and getting involved in these projects right here, right now. This is not financial advice. It's all for educational and entertainment purposes only. But I do think we are running up to a key level of resistance. A previous level of support, looking to turn that to resistance for continuation of this trend. And potentially, if we did lose the local low that we had now and retrace, I know it's so far away, but if we did start to retrace and not hold support that we're looking for, and you lost that and you start to lose these lows, potentially the next level of support is down here at the mark around 0.0376, which seems miles away, but it would literally tie up with this wave 1, this wave 2, this wave 3, this wave 4, and then a wave 5 correction, and that would be the end of the bear market there for Fetch. So that's the bearish scenario. If you start to lose support here, don't hold it and lose this low. That's the last case scenario. You're down there. And the bullish scenario, again, is tackle above this resistance, you know, come back, hold these EMAs, hold a previous level of resistance that we've broken out of here, hold that as support, get your continuation and break out. And then you can confirm that this is basically flipping the switch, getting above the previous level of support and resistance, and looking for continuation, and you're basically working your way. This is a massive potential wave 1, a wave 2, and then you've got Fetch in this next bull run looking to put in this large wave 3 and take out its all-time high. So just a bit of hopium here. I want to give you, before I go actually, I want to give you guys a potential target for Fetch to reach in this bull run if this is the low. So consider this being the low here, and now we're retracing to the all-time high. So this, again, guys, it's a bit of hopium, okay, and it could be a while away, but if you do start to see Fetch tackle its all-time high, okay, and start to break through these fibs, the minimum target for me would be $2.79, and you could have an overextension to $8.20 in the next in the next bull market. Now, from current price, to break that, the minimum you would be looking at was 1,716% to the 1272, with an overextension in my eyes up to the 1618 with around 5,200% increase. So again, guys, you know, not financial advice. It's a long way away, but that's just a thought theory and what the fibs are showing me. Okay, from this low retracing back to this high, if you start to come up and eventually tackle through this, these are my targets in the next bull run for Fetch, considering this has to be the low. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of hopium there, and enjoyed the content. If you did, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for the next videos. Until next time, from Chart Nerd TA, take care, peace out.